And now I think it's time to change the switch and go into English because I want our invitee to hear me. The speaker tonight is one of my dearest friends now. We've met in 2021. And ever since, he has been close to Crilia and close to me. We've been doing coaching with me as a coachee this time, all last year. And he has contributed to changing a few of the Crilia's directions in finding ways of going international, in working with weird teams, remote, hybrid, multicultural teams. And he is here tonight to support our discussion in what teams mean, what is their future, and what is going on with these teams nowadays. Okay, so for the first part of this event, I would like to invite Harry Meintassis to speak a little bit about teams, and then we'll take it from there. Harry?
So, mulțumesc frumos. It's an incredible pleasure and honor to be with you today. It's for me, it's an amazing feeling. First of all, to celebrate together Crilia, 11 years, yes. Krina, so thank you for everything that you're doing. And you're doing it in such an extraordinary way. This is your day, this is your evening, and thank you very much for investing your time with us. So what Krina and I had in mind was to have a really nice and flowing conversation as to what is happening with leadership, with teams, with human capital. There's a lot going on, and we need to make some sense out of it. We would love to, to really engage in the discussion. I would like just maybe for no more than 9 or 10 minutes just to outline the big landscape. I will just scratch the surface. I know I'm just going to say things that probably we all know, but also I would like also to put certain things to provoke our thinking and through questions to really go deeper. So, but before I go that, I would like to say that for me it's a special day for one more reason. 27 years ago, right this day, 24th of February, I took the plane from Athens to Bucharest. It was the first time. It was 1996. Yes. And yes, Krina, you didn't know that. So, and this changed my life. This changed my life. That was the turning point in my life. It was the ignition where I took a big decision, as even I was getting out of the plane and I was feeling the culture and the people. And I remember the day after, it was the 25th of February, there was so much snow, it was so cold, and then I went to the office. I was working for a company called Ernst & Young, doing nice projects. And I said, this is the place I want to invest my life. There's something going on here. And I took the decision right these days that I need to do something with the Romanians, in Romania. And for me, saying this to you is really very important and very emotional. So thank you very much, because in the last days, last years, Romania has meant a lot to me. So let's try now to look on the bigger picture. Let's try to zoom out. What is really happening? What's happening in the world of work, in the world of teams, in the world of human capital? When Krina and I were discussing, and we were trying to find the title, we said it's the art of teaming, the art. And why did we say art? Because art is something that doesn't go into templates. There is no one truth. We need to be creative, we need to be agile, we need to think in an open mind, okay? And also we said, there's something, if there's one X factor today, it's not just as we work as individuals, it's as we work as teams, either at the micro level in our organizations or at the macro level, in the society, in our countries, and so on and so forth. So there are 3 crises that at least I would like to argue that we are actually experiencing today. And they are deep, and in a way they shape the experience at work and also the public discourse. Number 1, there is a crisis in skills, crisis of skills. We still haven't cracked the code how to really, really learn. And this is not just about technical skills, it's about human skills, about digital skills. We all see what's happening now with AI, generative AI, with ChatGPT. How are we managing that? So this is one thing. By the way, the shelf-life of skills is getting shorter and shorter. In the next 3 years, things that we know today will be obsolete. That's number one. Number two, there's a crisis in trust. Trust, in credere. There is a big thing here. Okay? So we see that in all institutions. We as individuals, as citizens, as employees, we are losing trust. We are losing trust in almost everything. Government, media, our organizations, our leaders. What is going on? Unless we turn around this trend, we will not be able to see the real transformation that we are all looking for, the human transformation. So that's number two. Number three in crisis, it's the crisis of meaning. Why I'm doing what I'm doing. What is the purpose? Why it's important? As you know, less than 30% of the employees today are really engaged / motivated. Perhaps this is also about us to reflect, and probably I'm not saying something new to you. There is anxiety, there is stress, there is burnout, there's all of those things. And by the way, burnout is not so much about the workload. Burnout is more about what psychology will say self-efficacy. What does that mean? Why I'm doing what I'm doing? What is the purpose? Where is this work going on? Okay. So there's this is the bigger, perhaps, picture as to what are some endemic issues that we are facing. And what I would like to offer to you in the next 4 or 5 minutes is a few ways, perhaps, to think differently about how can we really address these issues in a more profound way. And here the key issue, although we will be speaking about teams, the main unit in teams is the individuals. So it is individuals and relationships. So I would like to offer you 4 ways of looking at the world, 4 mindsets. So the first one, and here I'm trying to, let's say, to suggest to you things that we would need perhaps to think more in order for us to be successful. Number 1, stay curious. Stay curious about the world. Stay curious about yourselves. Let's not be too certain. Let's try to explore. Let's try to understand what is really going on. Question everything. There is no one truth. And the wisdom is for us to be able to go deeper and try to, if you like, to challenge ourselves and to challenge each other in the most profound and the most respectful way. So staying curious is actually perhaps the number 1 thing that we need to consider. So this is the exploration. Let's explore. And then stay curious about ourselves. What is happening with ourselves? How do we see ourselves in the next 3-4 years? So let's ask ourselves, how do we see, what is my vision? If I had to put 25 words into a paper, how would I visualize myself in the next 25 years? So that's number 1. Number 2, and I would like to, again, in the spirit of provocation, love the difficulty. Love the difficulty. So what do I mean here? What I'm trying to say? What we saw in the last 3 years, it was some of us really managed to find ways to use difficulty as an advantage, to turn adversity into opportunity. Some of us, perhaps, we were not able to do that because we didn't make this switch. So the point here, if we want to reach greatness, excellence, call it however you want, we need to do hard things. We need to do difficult things. We need to love resistance. Resistance is a friend. Stress, good stress, optimized stress is a friend. Discussing with Marius about music. And what we were saying, now music is so out of touch of creativity, as an example, because we as artists don't put the effort. We are all artists. We are all artists. We need to take the best from out of our hearts and of ourselves. And that is difficult. That is hard. And this is what we call, and with Karina we have discussed that many times, anti-fragile strength. Anti-fragility, what is anti-fragility? Is that we get stronger, better, wiser from difficulty, from uncertainty. This is the idea. It's more than resilience. So that's number 2. Number 3, and I would really love to hear your opinion on this one. Whatever you do, whatever we do, always help and care for the other. If I had to rephrase it, put the other interest first. So instead of putting ourselves first, put the other person first. Because if we do that, if we manage to do that, this is perhaps the way we can regain the trust that is being lost. Instead of trying to find ways to protect ourselves, which is human. We need to survive, the brain, the way it's designed is not designed for us to be happy, it's designed for us to protect ourselves. All of this is true. But what really makes a difference, especially if we are leaders, is for us to really go the extra mile for the other person. It's not about us, it's all about the other person. And number 4, always reinvent ourselves, redefine ourselves. We as adults, of course, we all know that kids grow. We also grow. We develop. We become different. But it does take time. It does take effort. It does take the right attitude. Sometimes we talk about authenticity. Yes? And we say authenticity, and it's true. We need to be authentic to ourselves, truthful to our values. That's important. And at the same time, we need to adapt. We need to grow. We need to become. This is the beauty of life. This is the art of life. This is the art of well-being. I'm not the same person when I was 20, 30, 40, and so on. And that's beautiful. That's great. So I need to find ways, even on the daily basis, to self-develop, to find ways to challenge myself and to learn new things. I'm circling back to the beginning of this short, let's say, sharing. We have these 3 crises. I would like to ask you, out of the things that I mentioned to you, those 4 things, so curiosity, one is curiosity. The other one is anti-fragility. The other one is taking care of the others. The final was reinvention. What have I missed? What have I missed in this narrative? What is something that you believe, we should also put into the conversation? Number 1. Number 2, if we take those 4 issues, where do we stand? Where are we stronger? And where perhaps we need to devote more time and more effort? So closing, this was just an initial outline of, the bigger picture. I know I've missed a lot, and hopefully in the discussion with Karina, we are going to get deeper, and with your questions and your insights, we're going to get closer to the truth and how we can really bring humanity in the workplace and the society.
Thank you, Harry. This is really interesting. I'm going to ask you to sit over there.